So this story is how I got scammed out of $6,000. And I thought it was legit because he only asked for the last 4 digits. So she immediately locks all my account. But like I said, most likely we won't get it back because it was a person-to-person transfer, and those are hard to prove that are fraudulent. I'm on the phone with this man for 3 hours, but it's just like, dang, man. Dang. I will come for you. The balance on our HELOC, we had $25,000 on our HELOC, and he transferred $22,000 into the account that he was getting ready to transfer somewhere else. 7 o'clock on Wednesday, and it is time for me to get ready for my overnight job. So while I do so, I guess I'll do a story time. So this story is how I got scammed out of $6,000. Now, this just happened a week ago, not even quite a week. A week ago, well, it'll be a week on Friday. Sitting down, actually Thursday, so a week from tomorrow. Today is Wednesday, like I just said. Sitting down, I'm having dinner, getting ready to get ready for work. And I get a call on my cell phone from what appears to be the state employees credit union. And that is who I bank with. So I get this call, and this person is on the line, and he says that he is a fraud specialist and that they have seen some fraudulent activity on my account. Now, I got a call like this a couple of months ago, but they didn't call from the credit union. So I felt like it was legit. He asked for the last 4 digits of my card, and then he asked for the last 4 of my username. So I gave him that information, and I thought it was legit because he only asked for the last 4 digits. So we're in this transaction. He's like, yeah, it was 2 fraudulent charges, one in the amount of $98 and one in the amount of $45 from the Walmart. And the reason you don't see them on your account is because we declined them, which should have been red flag number 1, because I don't recall the credit union ever doing anything like that. But hindsight is 2020. So we are on the phone. He's like, I'm going to start the investigation for these fraudulent transactions. While we're on the phone for that, now this whole time, you know how like they will send you these 6-digit codes or pins to your phone, and they make sure that they are talking to who they say they're talking to. He's sending me those. So I'm reading them back. I'm reading them to him. And he's like, oh, so we see that 2 Apple Pay transactions just came through. Were those you? And I was like, no, that's not me. One was like $2,700. One was $1,106. It was $2,708 and $1,106. So he's like, what we can do is we can set up alert messages so that you are notified every single time some type of fraudulent activity happens. So I'm like, okay, yeah, that'd be great. So, and while he's doing that, so he's telling me he set up the alert. He says he sets them up, and then he's like, okay, now we have to test it out. So he's sending me Apple Pay requests, red flag number 2, because a bank will never tell you to send money to somewhere else. So he's telling me he's sending me Apple Pay requests. He's telling me to pay them. When I double click, a fraudulent alert comes up, and it says these charges have been declined because it appears to be fraudulent. So he does this 3 times. One for $2,708, one for $1,106, one for like $766 or something like that. So it's starting to feel weird to me. So I asked my husband to check his account because I'm locked out of mine. My husband sees the 2 Apple Pay transactions, and I'm like, those are fraudulent transactions. This is what he's setting up the alerts for. I'm on the phone with this man for 3 hours. He says he's doing this he's doing this investigation, he's securing my account, all of this other stuff. So red flag number 3 was when he was like, so I'm gonna call you back in the morning to get this finalized. My shift is over. And I'm thinking, I remember having the thought, like, he's like, what's the earliest we can call you back? And I'm like, 8 o'clock in the morning. He's like, I'm gonna call you at 8:30. And I remember thinking to myself, dang, you work till 8:30 at night and then you gotta be right back at work at 8 o'clock. That doesn't make sense. But I just go with it because by now it's time for me to log into work. And so I still don't have access to my account. In the middle of the night, I check my phone and I get another one of those codes to log into my account. So I tell my husband again, can you check your account? Because what's supposed to be in our account at this point is like $1,400 after those 3 transactions. So the same amount is in our account. So I don't think nothing else of it. I go back to bed. I wake up the next morning and I'm on my way to the gym, and my daughter is like, did you transfer $562 out of my account? And I'm like, no. Before then, I'm on the phone with my daughter telling her about what happened the night before. And she just so happens to check her account. She's like, why is there $1,400 in my account and $203 in my account? And I don't think anything of it because I think she just has mismanaged her money. So I'm on my way to the gym. She's like, I'm gonna call you back. I'm gonna call the bank. I'm on my way to the gym, and my daughter is like, my oldest daughter is like, did you transfer $562 out of my savings account? I'm like, no. She was like, well, somebody took all of my money for my bills and it's saying it's in your account. And I'm like, I did not do that. I don't have access to my account. My account was locked down for fraudulent activity. So instead of going to the bank, instead of going to the gym, I go to the bank. And I'm like, hey, I walk into the bank. I'm on the phone with the credit union trying to get this person back on the line because by now he's supposed to have called me at 8:30 and it's 8:45. So I'm on the phone with them. I'm like, do y'all have this person's name? He told me his name was David Nunez. He's a fraud specialist. They like, we have a David Nunez, but he's a mortgage specialist. I'm like, no, this is a fraud specialist. I go to the bank, I'm at the counter, and I'm like, hey, can you print out my last 5 transactions because my kids are blowing me up saying that money is missing. So she prints out my last transactions, and I'm seeing where different amounts of money have been transferred from different accounts into the joint account that me and my husband had that this man now has access to. So she's printing out the accounts, and I'm like, I did not do this. And then so I'm like, I was on a fraud specialist called me yesterday, and I'm telling her, and so she's like, we don't have a fraud specialist. No, so she calls the headquarters or whatever, and she's like, hey, do y'all have a fraud specialist by the name of David Nunez? And they're like, no. So she's like, you need to hang up. I think you've been scammed. So by then, I'm still on hold with the credit union. David Nunez beeps in, and I'm like, hey, I'm on the phone. I was just on the phone with them waiting for them to find you. And he was like, oh, okay, well, here I am. And I'm like, I'm at the bank now because some things are not right with my account. And he was like, I said, but they told me that they don't have a David Nunez as a fraud specialist. So he's like, well, who told you that I can give them my badge number and they should be able to look me up? By this time, they have told me to go to the back of the bank and sit down and wait for an actual bank associate to come out and call me into their office. So by this time, this lady, her name is Jasmine, she calls me into her office. So I put him on speaker. First, I started recording the call because I didn't know how long I was gonna have to wait. And he's like, why are you recording? I said, because it's just some funny stuff. I need to make sense of everything that's going on. So by this time, Jasmine calls me in her office. I put him on speaker. I'm like, I'm in the bank. I'm actually in the office, so I have to go. He was like, do you have somebody else handling this? I was like, yes, I'm in the bank. I'm in the office now. And he's like, well, who is the lady? Who are you talking to? What is her name? And so she's like, my name is Jasmine. He's like, what's your last name? And she's like, I don't give out my last name, sir. And so I'm like, I said, well, I'm just going to take it from here. And he hangs up the phone. So she immediately locks all my accounts. And I tell her what happened. She's like, I think you've been scammed. And basically, because it was a person-to-person transfer, that I probably won't get the money back because it's hard to prove that that was fraudulent. But she cannot tell me to not file a dispute. So we're in the bank. I'm in the bank. I'm telling her everything that's happened. She has closed. She has restricted the accounts. She has closed my children's accounts. She has told them that they need to get their own accounts, new checking accounts, because this person has all this information. She closes our joint account. She restricts our joint account and our other checking account that we transfer our bills into. She restricts all of those, and then she opens us up a new joint account, a new checking account, and a share account for our bills. While I'm in the bank, this is so important. So she has set up the other joint checking, and she's like, well, what do you want me to do with the $22,000 that is sitting in the original joint account? And I'm like, wait a minute, what? I said, how much? She's like, oh, it's $22,000 in the old account, 8909. So I'm like, hurry up and move it, because I'm thinking the scammer done effed up. And God turned it around for me real quick. So I'm like, okay, go ahead and transfer it over to the new account. She's like, hold up. Why? While I'm in the bank, the scammer accessed guesses the balance on our HELOC? We had $25,000 on our HELOC, and he transferred $22,000 into the account that he was getting ready to transfer somewhere else. I know he did it while I was in the bank, because I got to the bank at 8:47. They opened at 8:30. When she printed out, when I first walked into the desk in the bank, she printed out the transactions like I asked her to. I had $89 in my bank account. So this mofo, while I'm in the bank, he knows I'm in the bank. He hung up the phone. I'm in the bank and he still proceeds to scam me. So I'm like, well, no, don't move that 20. I moved 20,000 back to our HELOC, leave 2,000 in the new account because we will have some bills that we need to pay. Now, luckily, I think we have 3 light bills that would have normally come out this week, tomorrow, as a matter of fact. So we'll go ahead and pay that. We luckily have enough money between another savings account. We got some of our funds back. We gave our kids back their money. $203 was taken from my son and $652 was taken from my daughter. We gave them their money back. And then I think we ended up we put the $1,400 back into our bills account, and we had like $700 to like live off of until he gets paid tomorrow, and then I get paid on Friday. But it really just, it burned me out because like I work too hard, and you guys know I'm working on a year of rest, and it's like this is a major setback. Before I had even got scammed though, I had decided like just trying to manage all of this. I need a quick win. And so I decided to take out a personal loan. I took out the personal loan for $30,000. The personal loan is to pay off my Hilton American Express card, which is sitting at a $12,000 balance. My husband's Platinum American Express card that is sitting at almost $7,000. And I was going to pay off my next student loan, but I refinanced my student loan with SoFi as well, and they gave me a 4.62, and the interest on the personal loan is 9.62, and my original interest is 6.85. So that doesn't make sense. I'm just gonna stay with and then I have a $160 payment to have it paid off in 5 years. But I was already getting ready. I was already prepared to pay $1,600 on my student loan for the rest of this year to get it paid off. It's like $8,500. So I'm gonna pay $1,600 on my student loan. I'm gonna pay $2,000 back to the personal loan to at least pay the credit card off. Those were the numbers that I was already working with before I decided to take out the personal loan. Now I did get approved for $30,000, but I don't need $30,000. I'm going to return that $11,000 balance or whatever because I don't have time for that. I'm still leaving my job December 31st, 2027, and I'm barely hanging on by a thread to stay till September of this year just to get 66% of my 401k. But when I tell you guys, like, I don't have no more fight in me. I refuse to get on the internet and cry, but I don't have no more fight in me. I am tired. Today, I literally sat in my chair all day. I don't work on Wednesdays. I don't see clients on Wednesdays, but I work my overnight job and I work my contracting job. And even that puts so much pressure on my heart. Like, I feel like, I don't know. I don't know. I have this like strong desire to just live a different life. I can't explain it. And I don't know what in the daydreams that I have, it is just me. Now, I have a husband, I have 5 kids, my youngest is 13, so I know that that's not realistic, but in my daydreams, it's just me. I don't know if it's because my husband and my son are at work, my son is at school, my husband's at work, or if it's just me. But like, and I don't have to do anything for anybody but me. I have this strong desire to live differently, like escape the matrix. I know that the possessions and the things that I want, I'm all over the place, but I'm reading the 20 Countdown to Riches by something rhyme. She wrote The Secret, and she told day number 1 assignment, day 1 of 21, is to write down 20 things to create your wish list and put the prices beside them. I couldn't even think, I came up with 20, but I started struggling after like 11 because the things that I really want don't have a price tag. I want peace. I want quiet. I want my time back. I want simplicity. I feel like I was even thinking today that I don't even know if I really want to be rich. I think the rich is the validation for the hard work that I've been doing. I am unsubscribing from the fact that it takes hard work to become wealthy. And I'm trying to adjust my life around simplicity. Like, I really have everything that I need. And if I could not work, even if I don't know if I don't want to, because I'm only 43. I don't know if I don't want to work for the rest of my life, but I know I need a break. I need a break. I've been on FMLA, but I was on FMLA and I was sick. I was really sick. So I didn't even get to enjoy, I only could take care of myself. And that was a lot of work because my immune system was working against me. But I just need time. I just need time. It's like I don't even want to think. I don't want to think of a plan. I don't want to think of an escape strategy. I don't want to figure it out. I just don't. Not I don't want to live, not I don't want to be here. It's not that. I had a session last night and the lady started crying when she talked about being in survival mode. I'm not in survival mode, but I am still very much burned out. I'm burned out. And I don't know if I've been burned out, but I think it's just gotten worse over the summertime because it's been back to back to back to back going since my son got out of school. The first weekend he got out of school, we had to go to Winston-Salem to put our condo on the market. The second week, I had to go to Richmond for a business convention. Then I went to Atlanta for my daughter's birthday. Last weekend, we went to Virginia to get on the boat. That was leisure and to hang out with our married friend couple. This week, tomorrow, I have to be in Maryland for work. And then it's a family reunion. And it's like, I don't want to. But that is my story time. Story time of how I got scammed out of $6,000. And like I said, we were just able, if you are with a bank, you do have to wait until the charges actually post before you can file a dispute. So we were just able to file the dispute yesterday. But like I said, most likely we won't get it back because it was a person-to-person transfer and those are hard to prove that are fraudulent. I have been trying to stay positive. I just been telling myself, like, God, thank you for this experience that provided wisdom. I know that the money, as easy as the money went, it will come 2 to 10 times or 100 times folded. So, and that's really what I've been telling myself. And I just moved on with life. Like, I already had the motto that money comes and goes, and it does. But it's just like, dang, man. Dang. But such is life. Why not me? Why not? So that is my story time. That is how I got scammed out of $6,000 right here in June. But the show must go on. I am grateful to still have a job to go to. I'm grateful to have a savings account. I'm grateful to still have money to pay my bills. And we're just gonna keep going. And when I get the energy, I will figure out, I don't know. I don't even know what I need to figure out, but that is it. Thank you if you have watched this far. I really appreciate it. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Gone with the hate because I ain't got no money, so I got time. I will argue with you on this internet. I will argue with you. I don't want to hear, oh, that was so... I will come for you. I just want to remind you that being a therapist is my profession. It is not my personality. Now, I will have time. I have time. I don't have time, but I will make time. So don't come over here being disrespectful. Don't do it. Don't. But you guys have a good night. Bye.